but soon enough, he'll find out he has a curse. Tanner grew up as a normal kid, playing with toys and having a healthy relationship with his parents, but then something changed at the age of 15. Tanner didn't grow up with a lot of friends. He would often feel sad and alone because he had no one to talk to about anything. The boy's best friend at the time was his dog, Dan. Dan was a very active dog who constantly wanted to play outside. Well, one of these days, Dan was running outside too close to the road, and, well, I'm guessing you know what happens next. Crying, animal hospital, grieving, but nobody wants to hear all that. Tanner, at an obvious age, didn't know how to deal with his emotions, how to healthily cope, and so it began. Tanner, after a long day, came home and pondered about his life. Now he had no one. He felt like he had no one to talk to and nothing to look forward to in life. After a long day of crying and overall sadness, he brushed his teeth and went to bed. As he was sleeping, his door opened, and he felt a hand gently pat him on the head. A male voice came out, saying, "It's going to be okay, Tanner. These things happen." Tanner smiled for a little until he realized the voice he heard wasn't familiar. The boy flips around and sees an unfamiliar face. The boy screamed, "Ah!" His parents, rushing in the room, exclaimed to Tanner, "What's wrong?" Tanner says, "There's a man in my room. Can't you see him? Get him away." The mother, visibly confused, says, "There's no one in front of you. You must have had a nightmare. That's understandable after such a long day. Have a good night, sweetheart." And they go off to bed. Tanner, still physically being able to see the purple cube man, says, "Who are you?" The man responds, "Do you know what emotions are? Do you know how to deal with them in a healthy manner?" Tanner, still looking at the man, but slightly less frightened, stays confused. The purple man says, "Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm M." As he gently reaches his hand out to shake Tanner's. Still confused, Tanner reaches his hand out to shake the man's. Okay, I will reveal myself in full. I was sent here after you went through a loss of your dog, Tanner exclaims. Who sent you? M says, no one specifically sent me. I just appeared because I'm part of you that you can't get rid of. I'm here to stay. The boy says in a frustrated voice, that doesn't make any sense. M states, it doesn't have to. I go by the nickname M, but my name is actually Emotion. Emotions are complex aspects of you that derive from certain situations and how you handle those situations. I came here because I noticed that you have been feeling a lot of negative emotion recently. You have been feeling sad as of late because you feel like you have no one to talk to, no friends, or anyone there for you. Is that correct? Tanner disheartenedly says, yeah, you're right. I feel like I just go through life just existing. I don't know how to make friends, and I feel depressed and anxious, says M. Yeah, Tanner says in an exciting voice or before realizing that it's nothing to be excited over. Yeah, says Tanner in a sorrowful voice. M explains, look, I can help you. Tanner in a questioning voice says, you can? How? Well, anxiety is hard to combat, especially if it's something like social anxiety. It takes a lot of practice in being able to manage it. I can help you through this, though. Tomorrow morning, we will be going to school and finding you a friend. Tanner, in a frightened state, exclaims, what? Well, you want someone to talk to, right? Tomorrow's Monday, and you have school. So, what better place to try than your school? Says M. Tanner stumbles over his words, says, but why are you... Go to sleep. We have a long day tomorrow, says M excitedly. What what are you going to do while I'm asleep? Asks Tanner. M says, don't worry about me. I don't sleep. I do, however, see a bunch of books on your shelf that I can read until you wake up. Ooh, green eggs and ham. I love it. Tanner turns over and goes to sleep until Leo's alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m. A lingering figure towers over him, and Tanner opens his eyes. He screams, "Ah!" and exclaims, "Good morning, sleepyhead. Let's go. It's time for school." M drags Tanner up on his feet and gets him through all of his morning routines. Brushes his teeth for him, gives him clothes to wear to school outside the bathroom, feeds Tanner cereal as he looks frustrated. They wait together until the bus ride, where M squishes Tanner to the window until they get off the bus to the school. Alright, we are here. First, we have to establish some interests. What are you into? Says M. Tanner ponders for a minute and says, well, I like video games, music, and watching YouTube. There we go. There are some talking points. Now, go and talk to those two right there, says M as he pushes Tanner towards the two guys who were just talking to each other. Tanner stumbles as he is met face to face with the two guys who are just staring at him. One of the boys says, can I help you? Tanner says in an anxious and worried state, hi, my name is Tanner, and I was wondering if you guys wanted to be friends with me. The two guys looked at him up and down, snickered, and then proceeded to walk away. M runs up to Tanner and says, how did it go? Tanner disappointingly says, not well. They didn't want to be friends with me. They laughed at me and just left. M, realizing Tanner is disappointed, tries to cheer him up by saying, you can't win them all, kid. If they don't want to give you the light of day, well, that's their problem. What now? Questions Tanner. We try again, exclaims M. There's a sequence where M pushes Tanner to different groups around campus. He hopes that Tanner can make friends with one of the groups until none of it works out, and the bell rings to go to class. Tanner says, oh no, the bell rang. I have to go to my first period class. M wholeheartedly says, alright, let's go. Tanner, confused, says, wait, you're going to class with me? Of course I am. What else would I do? Says M. The next few scenes are of M and Tanner in class. M dozing off, goofing off, and just having a good time. Tanner, however, being bored and not wanting to be at school. The bell finally rings for lunch, and Tanner's eyes open wide, and he jumps up to go to lunch. As he gets to lunch, M is sitting at a table where a few other kids who obviously don't know he is there because they can't see him are sitting. Tanner grabs his lunch and sees M over there, and they gesture to each other. In a questioning whisper, Tanner says, what are you doing over there? And M starts to gesture his hand over to Tanner to come over. He says, getting you to make friends. Come sit down. Tanner hesitantly sits down, and the entire group of kids sits and stares at him. Tanner says, hi, my name's Tanner. I was wondering if I could sit with you. The boy exclaims, why do you want to sit here? Tanner says, I don't have any friends, and I was hoping I could sit with you guys and become your friends. Tanner blushes as the boy chimes in again. Are you new here or something? No, I just haven't gotten a chance to make any friends. And says Tanner before he gets cut off by the boy. Look, I understand that you don't have a lot of friends, but Our group is already big as it is. We don't need anyone else here. Tanner, now beet red, gets up and walks to an empty table where M follows him. M says, "Man, kids can be so mean." It's okay though. We'll get him next time. Get it? Get him. Get M next time. M. As he tries to joke around. Tanner, frustrated, says, "I'm tired of this. We've been trying all day, and no one wants to give me the time of day. This is why I don't try to make friends." They sit there silently for the rest of the lunch until the bell rings. Tanner, sit through a class, and now trying to cheer himself up, still stays frustrated while Tanner sits there disappointed. The bell rang, and Tanner and M walk to class. M sees a poster for a gamers club as he's walking past and quickly gets an idea. M, excited, starts singing and dancing in a seat. Tanner whispers to M, "What's got you so excited?" And M exclaims, "You'll see." The teacher says, "Tanner, no talking to an empty desk over there." Time passes, and M drags Tanner to the cloakroom as soon as the bell rings. Tanner says, "What are you doing?" in shock. M keeps running, and finally they arrive at the room. M says, "This is the gamer club. You said you like playing video games, right? Well, I saw a poster as we passed classes, and I knew what I needed to do. Look, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to help me, but we've tried it all day, and I'm so tired." Whoa! M pushes Tanner into the room, frustrated, and Tanner is now standing in front of a club member. The club member says, "Hi, my name is Mark. Are you new to the club?" And Tanner responds, "Yeah, I saw your poster, and I wanted to see if I could join." Tanner, waiting for a negative response, is surprised when Mark says, "Of course you can. The more the merrier." A flow of joy courses through Tanner. Mark introduces Tanner into the rest of the group, and they start to talk about the video games and what they're into. Emma's waiting at the door and sees all this going on. He smiles and is relieved that Tanner had finally made friends. Tanner looks at M, gives him a thumbs up. M waves at him, shuts the classroom door. The story ends with the boy finally making friends and M finally succeeding in his mission to do so. M disappears as he has no other goal to accomplish, and the end.